Welcome to the Juicy Bits and Things podcast, where we offer women a space to find the courage to not feel guilty when saying no to others. Through consistency, setting boundaries, and creating sustainable habits, it permits them to walk away with the win. Creating this win just means we show up for ourselves first. Please welcome back to another episode, and I am your host, Allenia Renee. Today we're going to continue our discussion about dealing with friends as you grow or as you change or as you shift. Just to begin this discussion, you're listening to this podcast just like you listen to everything else or you read because you want to grow, you want to improve, you just want to become a better human being. What happens as you begin your journey of growth with your friendships? Something happens sometimes differently in your 20s than in your 30s, in your 40s, and then your 50s, and then your 60s and 70s. As time goes on, we learn how to communicate and we learn what things to say. We learn how to kind of navigate our friendships a little bit. I spoke the last time on navigating relationships, a journey of growth. Some people don't move at all. Some people will waver for different reasons, and we're going to talk about that. And others will just shift. They'll activate that desire that they have to grow and to improve. Most of the time, the people that waver, they waver because they're scared. They're afraid, will I lose my friend if I change? Will I be alone if I change? Or you might just be that person that is so focused on what other people are saying, the judgments of others. No matter the reason that you're scared, I challenge you. What I would like for you to do is question yourself. I want you to ask yourself, what might be the consequence if I choose not to improve? What will my life look like? How will my emotions be? My mental state of mind? My spiritual well-being? How will I be behaving? And I think about this because so many people ask you, how do you see yourself in 10 years? Some of us know the vision that we have. And then others don't. I want to tell you a story. Family vacation to Hawaii about 3 years ago. And when we went, we decided we're going to do paddleboarding. I've seen it. I'm like, oh, that would be so neat to do in Hawaii. Oh, I was excited. Y'all, your girl was ready. I carried this big old surfboard for I know it was 4 blocks. It was 3 or 4 blocks. It was so long because it was so heavy. And it seemed like it took forever. But I did it and I was so excited. We get to this lagoon. They said that we would be in a lagoon. And when I think lagoon, I think water that comes up to my knees. But then if I go further out beyond the border, then of course it's going to go to my hip, to my shoulders, and above my head. So I know better. We get to the lagoon, everyone gets on their boards, and they paddle. I mean, they look so good. I was so excited. I was like, oh, wow, look at them. But there was one person that wasn't doing anything, and that was me. I never learned how to swim. I was so excited about being in Hawaii and doing different things that kind of stretched me, that was helping me to grow and improve, that I forgot to say I need a life jacket. And my husband forgot too, because he's so used to everybody being able to swim that's around him. So I'm in the shallow area, And I'm trying to get on this board, and I couldn't get on this board for the life of me. I still think to this day, there's a video out there of me trying to get on this board. And I know it took me forever. About 45 minutes to an hour go by. And I just could not get on the board. I just couldn't. I just wanted to sit on the board so that I could look. I didn't need to paddleboard at that time. So I got off the board and I sat on the sand, and I was just like, I don't understand why I can't get on. The board was getting away from me. It was the craziest thing. Well, I decide to just try it again. Well, I go up and I figured out a way. I ended up sitting instead of trying to put my knees on. I sat my butt on the board. And then all of a sudden you heard everyone clapping. You heard everyone that was clapping. And I looked. I had this big old grin on my face. That clap gave me that confidence. Being able to sit on that board and the board not get away from me gave me confidence. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to put my knees on this board so I can kind of paddle a little bit. Well, let's just say that didn't go well at all. But then after maybe about 15 minutes, I finally got on the board. When I got on the board, this nice gentleman that just finished clapping for me came over. He says, I'll give you a little push so that you can get out of the sand. I turned around and told that man, you better not touch this board. I'm okay just like this. That was as far as I could go. That is as much as I could do. I was exhausted, but I was excited because I got on the board. It may not have been a big thing for most, but for someone who can't swim, didn't have a life jacket, and spent an hour trying to get on the board, being able to finally put my knees on a board was what I was excited about. And I could care less who was watching me. I don't want you to think that my family didn't come and check on me and things like that. They did. But the moral of that story is friendships are just like kind of people on the beach to me. When I think about some people, you have people that stay on the sand. You have people that go in the water, they just walk up to it and touch it. You have those that have the boogie boards or the surfboards and they get on that and they kind of float. And then you have those that will go in and ride the wave. Now, this is coming from someone that doesn't swim, but just hear me out. We each find ourselves at different places in our life. The person that sits on the sand is okay with sometimes just being, just being. No more, no less. It's okay. If they stay in the same house, they stay in the same city, they stay in the same place, they're okay. They deal with the same people. Then you have the one that walks out, touches the water. They're in it, just enjoying everything. They're just enjoying the water. They can't swim. They can't go too far. But they get in the water. Sometimes you find yourself saying, you know what, let me take a chance. But then you get a little scared because you don't have the skills, knowledge, and abilities to do something. So you do it to a certain point and then you will stop. And it might take you years until you do it again. I found myself doing that. I did just that with writing. I wanted to do it. I started doing it. I got started, but then I stopped because I didn't have the money. I was going through a lot of things. I didn't realize that that actually could have taken me out of where I was, but I was too consumed and distracted by my circumstance. Then you have the one that gets on the boogie board and floats, or gets on the surfboard and just floats. They're in the water and they allow the water to move them and they go and they flow. And sometimes we find ourselves in that place where, hey, I'm ready. You're doing. It's taken a long time. And because it's taken a long time, a very long time, you get discouraged. You allow fear also to keep you from going any further. It kind of halts you. Instead of progressing, you end up halting. Sometimes it's the sheer concept of perfection. You're so consumed of making something perfect that you don't do anything at all. And then that fourth friend is the one that goes in and rides the wave. Riding that wave means that, hey, I'm scared, but I'm going to do it no matter what happens. The uncertainty doesn't push you back. It doesn't hold you. The distractions of the wave coming in and how high the wave could be doesn't keep you from progressing. Doesn't mean that you move faster. It just means that you're moving. And sometimes those friends may not be able to come along because they aren't ready for that. Each of us has found ourselves in those places. Doesn't mean that you don't care about your friends, but it just means that they can't take you through that wave. But guess what? There's other people out there riding the wave, may have done it several times, and you end up befriending them. And that's how friendship is when you're growing. We all get to a point where we are each one of those individuals. But once you start riding the wave, you will end up attracting other friends, other people as well. I want to leave you with a few shows that over the years I have completely enjoyed. Now, some are very new, so I haven't really gone into that rerun stage maybe with some of these, but there's several of them that I have. But I wanted to share them with you because I love how these different shows depict the ebb and flow of friendships and the sheer need of having someone else in your life besides family, and how sometimes friends can end up being closer than even family. So, in no particular order, here's my list. Sweet Magnolias. It can be found on Netflix. Girlfriends, which is now also on Netflix. Insecure. Sex in the City. Golden Girls. The Big Bang Theory. Queens. Grace and Frankie also can be found on Netflix. Will and Grace, my last two. Laverne and Shirley, which can only be found on Xfinity right now. And Just Like That, which can be found on HBO Max. Well, I certainly have enjoyed spending time with you today and being able to share with you my thoughts on friendships and how to deal with friendships as we grow. It isn't something new. It will not change generationally. It won't change. The only thing that does change are the things around us that help distract us from how we deal with relationships. So I hope that this conversation has kind of given you some enlightenment into friendships, or reawakened what you know, and has really truly been a benefit. Thank you. If you have any comments, don't forget to put the comments in the comment section below, or if you would like to reach me directly, you can reach me at info@alleniarenee.com. And don't forget, we do have a book club podcast as well. So head on over to Joy Nook Book Club on YouTube for our book club video podcast as well. We have some great interviews going on. Replays are going on right now, actually. And we have a new season about to start in April. So head on over there. Check out some good books. We have children's book authors, nonfiction, fiction, Christian authors. So head on over there. I think you would truly enjoy it. Hey, that's it. That's all I have for you today. Just remember, we change our thinking, and with that, we change how we feel, which ultimately changes our patterns of behavior. Because we should be filling our cup first and giving others our overflow. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next episode.